whatever you believe will happen for you, in the sense of like manifesting. That's become such a popular term lately.
For sure, yeah.
And I think it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you
I'm a huge believer in that.
Yeah, if you believe something specific, whether you realize it or not, your actions do it, or you seek it out. So when you see it, you're like, see, I'm proving myself right. That happened. But then you're ignoring some other aspects.
A lot of people look at it from like a woo-woo kind of way, where it's like, oh, it's like magic. But if you believe that something's going to happen, you're going to behave in a way that would make it happen because you're more inspired to move. And this is where I've learned the benefit of positive reinforcement versus negative reinforcement. I learned it in the SPCA, where you're dealing with dogs, and then I started applying it to my life. But the more that you're able to influence good actions versus discourage bad actions, the more positive steps you'll find you constantly take. And I see that being the same. I make all kinds of weird noises. I see that being the same with like the law of attraction and the power of manifestation. Oh gosh. I think in my peripheral I can tell that some people have started showing up, and now I'm like getting flustered.
It's okay.
This might be too personal. I find that a lot of people that believe in things like manifestation fall on a huge different spectrum of like faith and religion. I was curious where you fall.
I tell people I'm a Christian. To be honest, I don't practice it. I don't go to church. I don't read the Bible. So I feel kind of bad calling myself a Christian. I do believe there is a God. I don't know, it's weird. Like at the end of the day, I genuinely believe if you do good by people, you do good by yourself, and you always try to have the best intentions as you can, I think you're fine.
That reminds me of Kristen Bell. She has a big thing she says where
you generally follow the rules.
Well, I grew
How
up...
do you make those decisions? Like why is it that sometimes you would go, fuck it, I'm gonna do ecstasy. I'm gonna go to Dave Matthews and I'm gonna pound some Molly and get the party started.
To me, it's my using my own barometer of what is good and bad for me. It's also promoting happiness, reducing suffering.
it sounds very similar to the way you're describing it, where it's just like, if I'm a good person, I don't hurt people, I try to help people, then at the end of the day, that's all I need to focus on. What is it that made you become Christian? Like, was it something that you found? Was it something that your parents kind of put on you? Like, where did that kind of...
My family is not religious whatsoever at all. So it was really cool growing up with like a blank slate, because I didn't have any, I wasn't swayed anyway. Like,
you got to really think for yourself.
Yeah, like not this was bad, this is good, or don't do this, don't do that. It was literally just like whatever. When I was in high school, my best friend at the time, I was going through a lot, and he was really helpful and he was there for me. And he one day was like, hey, come to church. I don't want to push you, but if I think it'll help. I was like, all right, sure. So then I went to church, and then I was like, oh, you know what? This is something to look to in a positive way. Faith is so cool because it's something you can lean on. Because, you know, some people just need that shred of hope when everything is just, when they're in rock bottom. And I think faith really, really helps people get through their tough times. So I think for me, that's what it was. But then as time went on, I got into some really negative experiences with Christianity. So then that started turning me away. And I was like, okay, well, I shouldn't turn away my own opinions and beliefs just because other people around me are pissing me off. So I was like, okay, let me step back and let me think about what I really believe myself. And at the end of the day, I believe in God. I just don't do all the Christianly stuff. I don't do any of that. So
the overarching theme is just finding what works for you. I don't even know what my personal belief is, but I end up talking about it on the podcast a lot because I'm so fascinated by mindset, and it's such a huge part of people's identity. It's not about anything being true or being right. It's about whatever helps you cope. Or not cope, maybe cope's the wrong word, but it's what helps you move through the day in the most positive way possible.
Yeah.